And now suddenly I was calling my parents and telling them that I was moving back home after 6 years of living abroad. Exactly a year ago, I was in Morocco hosting my 4th retreat experience. My business consisted of renting Airbnbs in paradise locations around the world where I would bring together entrepreneurs to co-work during the day and share amazing experiences in the afternoons. Very simple. That experience, however, was the one that was going to blow it out of the water. I had accumulated a lot of experience prior to that. I had built a solid brand, and this one was going to be the one where, boom, it was really going to take me to the next level. A week prior to the start, I ignored some alarming emails. This was exactly around the time where the crypto market tanked and Bitcoin went down from 40K to 20K. I was working with everybody else from the terrace. We were overlooking the ocean. So I finally opened up my laptop to find out, not that I had just lost a little bit of money, which I was already expecting, but to open the laptop and find out that I had been completely liquidated. 99% of my wealth was gone. Just a few months prior to that, I had 150K in crypto. It was the majority of all the money that I had. I barely held anything in cash because I was being overly greedy and overly optimistic. And the reason I got liquidated is because I had company expenses to pay, and I used some crypto as collateral to pay for those loans. And next thing you know, I'm just speechless. I'm numb. I'm looking around, everybody's just working from there, having a good time. And I just wanna kick everyone out, cancel the whole thing, go cry, scream, I don't know what I was feeling. I was just feeling so many different things. And yes, my life completely did a 180-degree turn. And just like that, I went from being the king of the world to traveling to all different corners and just feeling invincible, thinking that my business, even though it was purely just an idea at the time, I wasn't really sure what the hell I was doing. And now suddenly I was calling my parents and telling them that I was moving back home after 6 years of living abroad. The reality is that when I went back home, that feeling of failure was far, far from the truth. Instead, I came back home with a huge sense of gratitude. The very first thing is that this money I never even expected to have made a few years prior to that. And this money was exactly what had given me the confidence to take the leap, to travel the world and see so many different friends. At the same time, when I arrived back home, I thought, is this really what rock bottom looks like? Is this really what failure looks like? I get to live in this amazing palace. I get to spend some quality time with my family that I had not been very connected with the last few years. And yes, at the same time, I was just grateful that I didn't have a mortgage to pay. I didn't have employees that were counting on me. I didn't have a family that I had to raise. Everything was just perfect. And I kind of tried to look at it as, maybe this was the best thing that could have happened to me at such an early age. Still, I wanted to make the most of it, and I came up with 4 principles that I wanted to follow for the rest of the year. The first principle was to say no to shit I don't want to do. Number 2, spend more time in nature. Number 3, dramatically reduce my alcohol consumption. And number 4, conquer Barcelona. 6 months later, after a lot of searching, a lot of no's, I finally managed to open up my very first co-living space here in Barcelona. I could argue that that was probably one of the biggest milestones that may have happened in my life. The co-living is now fully operational. It is booked months in advance. There's a big wait list. And you could argue that that is probably one of the biggest successes I've experienced in the last year, or at least since I came back to Barcelona. When the reality is that something much more special has really happened that, in my opinion, has made it absolutely worth it losing those 150K every single fucking day. When I came back to Barcelona, my intention was not just to build a co-living space. I also wanted to really feel at home and find or build my own community. At the end of the day, my whole life I've gone to an international school, and the majority of my best friends are either all gone, right? Or there's only like some very single, individual friends that I have here and there. And While I love the majority of them so incredibly much, I felt like I was really lacking an environment where I could really push myself, where we could all push each other. At the end of the day, I felt like in many of the social interactions I was having, I was always kind of like reserving one part of myself. At the end of the day, I love talking about things like personal growth, business, philosophical things, the things that are happening in this world, and questioning them. And so now that I was here in Barcelona, I was like, okay, I guess I just gotta build that for myself. And so what I started doing was reaching out to people that I looked up to one-on-one. I would invite them out for coffee, for a beer. I would slowly start building these relationships. And only a few weeks and a couple of months afterwards, I started organizing events for these people to bring them all together. This was a great way to add value to people, to become a connector, right? Which is something I've always loved doing. And slowly, as I started to meet one person after the other, I would then get introduced to more people. And this would exponentially grow further and further. Through this group, I then met Jake from Show Up, which became this central meeting point for the community as well. Like every single Wednesday, I would always send these people over there and there and there. And then suddenly around November, which was right around the time when I found the co-living space, I was like, maybe I should put all these people under one single group chat. And the idea at the beginning was really to add even more value to the residents, so that when they would come, I would add them to the group chat and they would meet even more and more people. Fast forward to now, this group is now 180 members strong. It genuinely feels like a family. And through this group, I've been able to give people the thing I've always wanted for myself. An environment where people can become the best version of themselves, lifelong friendships with whom you can grow, learn, share vulnerably, and truly be yourself. And most importantly, be fully at home here in the beautiful city of Barcelona. Because of this lucky experience, I've been able to understand what my real calling is, understand what gives me absolute joy, and where my zone of genius is, which is building community, bringing people together, and co-creating amazing experiences with them that are going to benefit all of the people involved. And so I want to keep on doing that. I want to keep on making an impact in people's lives. And so I'm still going to continue doing the co-living. I may even open up another space at the end of the summer. But the real challenge and the real place where I want to go to, the real mission, will be opening up a community hub, which will combine social club, co-working, a place where all these people can come together to not just make genuine connections, but really to co-create with each other. I really believe that there's so much talent and so many skills that can be really squeezed out for the benefit of everybody else. And so I'm still not sure how I'm going to finance it. I still haven't found the space. I've started talking to all the different people within the community, and the feedback is being incredible. I'm listening to every single member. Last week alone, I had 15 one-on-one calls to really understand what's going to add the most value to these people and how can I really differentiate myself from all the other players out here in Barcelona. And the craziest part of all is that if I shared all of this with the Mark from just a year ago, he would not believe himself. He would not believe any of it. I was dead set on doing the retreats. I was going to do this and this and that. And overall, I'm just grateful because apart from finding my real calling and something that truly gives me joy and meeting all these amazing people, I've taken away some incredible lessons. I've learned that challenges are opportunities for growth, that it's crucial to keep an open mind and pivot very, very quickly. I mean, I started with retreats, I opened up a co-living space, now I'm doing a social club, and who knows what is going to happen next. I've also learned that with passion and determination, anything is possible. Trust me, I will never stop. I may have pivoted many different times, but I'm more motivated than ever. I will keep on going. And I genuinely believe that the only failure is when one gives up. So I may pivot a few more times, who cares? And finally, the last thing I've learned is that sometimes you have to be a little bit lucky. In my case, rock bottom was moving back into my parents' home. Had I grown up in a different family, maybe I would have had to get a job and not be able to spend any time on my real passion, on my real project. And yes, overall, this experience has given me a lot of perspective. Often we are just so, we lose sight of the things that really matter because we're just constantly chasing the next big thing, the future fruits that we may potentially have, when the reality is that we already have all the things we already need to truly be fulfilled and happy. For me, I'm not attached to the co-living, I'm not attached to the social club. I'm here to enjoy the journey, and the reality is that I'm already happy, and anything that comes above that is just a huge bonus point. So I hope that through this, I don't know how short or long the video is, I've been able to give you a little perspective. Maybe you are in the middle of something, pivoting, changing things, or in the middle of a rock bottom moment. And everything is gonna be all right. Everything is gonna be all right, and just keep an open mind, keep doing your thing, keep doing what you love, and just don't stop, don't stop. I don't know how this will end, but if you're curious to know how the whole social club thing unfolds, all the ups and downs, or you have any questions, put them down in the comments. Feel free to subscribe, do as you wish, and other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you.